Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. My name is Ross Benjamin of RBWins.com, and like every Friday, I'm joined by veteran handicapper Chip Chirimbes of the aplay.com. Chip's got some exciting stuff coming up. It's up to him whether he wants to talk about that or not, but trust me, folks, it's exciting. Anyway, Chipper, this once a week stuff. I haven't talked to you. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm running around like a madman out here, following the golf, believe it or not, getting into the swing of things. And we'll see what happens here. And baseball, this past weekend, I had a lull. Now I'm back on track. I swept the board Wednesday, 6-2 the last 3 days. So really happy what's going on in baseball. And of course, Ross, I told you before, you can't keep the football out of our blood. Canadian Football League is alive and well. We've got a perfect record this season. We're already 1-0. So yeah, I'll be posting Canadian football from here on out.
There you go. I mean, look at Chip Chirimbes. He's going north of the border to get his fix for football. So anyway, I could tell you this. Chip doesn't take anything on in terms of individual sports unless he feels he could win at it. He's not going to just shoot darts because it's a slow time of year. So, Chip,
but go ahead. That being said, Ross, I mean, we discussed that getting information from the CFL is very, very tough. It's difficult trying to find it. They do have their own website, but even that is limited.
Yeah, I would take a look at Fox Sheets. That's where you could find some Canadian football pertinent trends and statistics and all that kind of stuff. And then if you understand all the rules and there's 12 men on the field and the field is wider and you get 1 point for a rouge, you know what a rouge is? If you miss an extra point or you kick or you punt and the other team downs it in the end zone,
they have to run it out of the end zone. 1 point,
right?
They have to run it out of the end zone.
They have to run it out of the end. No fair catches.
No.
Anyway, we are recording on Thursday or Friday, the 24th, excuse me. And we'll have two Major League Baseball free picks for you on the 25th. But before we get to that, just a friendly reminder, folks, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, take a second to do so. We are now surpassed 7,600 subscribers. So thank you very much for all of you who have subscribed and watched loyally, as our views have been up for this time of year compared to years past. So we're doing something right. And you know what you should do right? If you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. While you're there, hit the notification bell as well. Anytime we put up any of these Winner's Circle sports betting podcasts on this channel, you'll be alerted immediately and you won't have to keep checking back all the time. And you know what, Chip, I know you like this because you like free stuff. So it costs you absolutely
That's why I never got married.
Costs you absolutely nothing to subscribe. And that's why you never got married. Anyway, my buddy, who I call the vagabond of the sports betting industry, and he's from parts unknown, is what I say right now, currently in Las Vegas. Anyway, Chipper, a lot of interesting stuff in baseball. Again, I hate to beat this subject to death, and everybody's going to think we're homers, but
bring it on.
York Yankees.
Yes.
Have been continue to be a terrific story, overcoming a 6-3 ninth inning deficit last night against the Houston Astros, who got one heck of a bullpen, and they got to the closer, Presley, and Hicks, who's been underperforming all year. He hit that home run, and he basically threw the stiff arm to everybody in the crowd because he's been being rolled.
The Yankees are doing what we've seen so many teams in the past do, that have that karma, that energy to just win games and win championships. The Red Sox that year, they won it. They had an unbelievable season of comeback wins. And, the Yankees had 2 hits and 3 runs going into the bottom of the ninth. Yeah. They ended up with 6 runs and 4 hits. I mean, it was just, it's that kind of energy and karma. And as long as Judge stays healthy, because I think he's the key component.
He's locked in.
At the plate and defensively, they lose him. I think now they've lost Scherzer. They've lost a number of different people, right? I mean, for a time period. And Stanton, I don't think anybody would affect them as much as if they lose Judge. He's got an MVP season right now he's working on. And their pitching, like we said, has been outstanding. And their catcher's hitting 213 in Minnesota. So anyway,
Gary
I got to get it in,
Sanchez.
Russ. You know I have to get it in. I hate
Hey,
that
how
guy.
about I like that catcher they got? I got Jose Trevino.
Yeah, no,
He's having a career year.
with the bats they have, we said it before, all you need is a shortstop that can pick the ball up and throw it to first, and a catcher that can catch the ball, and everything else will work out. And their shortstop's hitting 265, 267, I think, in around there. And you know, and they weren't expecting any production out of him whatsoever. And this is a major bonus for them. Their pitching is so deep, Ross. It's Holmes and everyone else.
Yeah.
They're all throwing 98 miles an hour day after day. And Chapman's their weak link, believe it or not.
Yeah, Chapman might go to the 7th inning guy, in my opinion, when he comes back, because Michael King's doing a great job as a setup man. And even Chapman came out yesterday in the media and said that, you know, Holmes is well deserving of keeping the closer's job.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Aaron Boone's hinting at, but he hints that Holmes might continue to be the closer. Then he hints that Chapman's going to be the closer, and he's going to use.
I think he's wearing diapers. I don't think he has an idea. You know, I'm trying to equate something here.
Yeah.
But they win in spite of him. I think. You know, I mean, they can't get rid of Joey Gallo. 188, 3 Ks yesterday, and nobody wants him or his salary. Though he's going to hit that long ball every once in a while, and it's a run producer at that. They can afford to have him there. They really can. Not
only that, Chipper, people just don't realize how good a defensive outfielder he is. Look at a play he made the other night in foul territory, going up against the wall and taking it out of the stands. I mean, the guy's got a good arm. I think, look, he's never been a hitter that hits for average.
202 lifetime average coming into the season.
Right.
Now it's
so
probably
he's at
under
178. That means if he hits his lifetime average, he's liable to hit 230, 240 the rest of the year and then come on with the long ball.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time before. I mean, this guy's hit home runs on a consistent basis since he's been up.
You know, your boy Rizzo really solidified the infield at first, because they were struggling with Voit and the people they had last year.
He is so smooth, right, Chip?
He's great out there. He saves that infield a lot of times. And now you have an infield where you really don't need that much saving, because they're that much better defensively than they were a year ago. It's real, and their ERA shows it, and their staff is throwing with confidence. So I think they're going to be tough to beat, Ross. You know, I try not to say things too early in the season, but my goodness, the way they're winning these games, and they got the pitching. They are and
you mentioned Connor Falefa, and what a pleasant surprise he's been. They knew he was good defensively, but no power, but that's okay. They got enough power, and you put a guy at the bottom of the lineup that saves you runs in the field, and he still hits 265. I'll sign up for that.
He's a find.
You know, and
that was
on top of that,
I haven't been a big fan of Cashman's, but that was a great move.
Yeah, and on top of that, you enabled Gleyber Torres to go back to second base, which is his natural position, and not have to face the scrutiny of playing shortstop in New York, which he looked totally uncomfortable and really was less than average as a shortstop, and it affected his hitting too. So he's starting to come on as well. So 52-18 in 70 games. And they play in the toughest division in baseball. I mean, there's 7 winning teams in the American League, and 4 of them are in the AL East. And the Yankees, who are 52-18, are running away in that division.
It doesn't matter who they're playing, Ross, right now. I mean, things could change. Baseball's a long year. We've seen it happen. I mean, Atlanta was under 500 last year at the All-Star break, for crying out loud, and they win the World Series. So,
I mean, Judge is having an MVP year, right, Chip? But they're getting contributions from different people each night, and nobody expected their bullpen, the young kids in that bullpen, to dominate the way they have. And you know what? They're going to get Loaizaga back. There's another Domingo Germán is coming back. So there's going to be a couple further moves. I think Germán.
I heard Domingo Germán had more hits than Ichiro one year. Is that true?
I don't know about more hits.
More hits than Ichiro.
Yeah,
he was suspended for a year and a half. I'm sorry, I was
into an area where I could get in trouble. So I'm not answering that question.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize to you, Ross, and to the audience.
It's okay. Yeah, it's your intentions were good. Anyway, Chipper, Football still a couple months away, month
Yep.
and a half, 2 months away, but looking forward to that preseason football. Second week in August, I believe that begins. And by the way, I'm coming out to Las Vegas the third week of August, buddy. And for the first time, believe it or not, folks, we've been doing this show together for 3 years or so, and or at least a couple, 2.5 years or so, and we've never really met
No, not in person,
physically.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chip's going to buy when we go out to dinner,
I
and
certainly am. If you
he's
can
also
find me.
going to buy drinks, and
If you can find me.
because I like stuff free too. Anyway, Chipper, you got a free pick in the
Yeah.
New York Mets and Miami Marlins game that goes tomorrow at 4:10 p.m. Eastern time. Currently, the Mets are -155 and the total's 8. Take it away, my friend.
All right, my friend. New York was good to me last week when I had the two powerhouses, Toronto and the Yankees, going head to head. We played the under. Nice win for us there. Now I'm going to play the Mets and the Marlins at Miami Saturday afternoon to go over the total, and I'll tell you why. Chris Bassett off to a great start for the Mets, sort of faltered. Now he's been strong again the last couple of games, but still his ERA is high, 5-5 on the season. The problem comes in this game with Miami starter Trevor Rogers. I don't know what's going on with him this year, Ross. In 58 innings, he's given up 65 hits. His ERA is just a shade under 6. I think the Mets are going to have a blast off this guy. The lefty pitching into Alonso on the right-hand side and the right-handed power for the Mets. I see this game going over the total. Also, just look at the trends between these two teams. The Mets are 9-4 to the over when they're playing teams with losing records. They're 4-1 to the over in the last 5 on the road. And they're 7-3 to the over in their division. And if you look at Miami, you don't think of them having much of a lineup, much punch. But Ross, they're 15-7 to the over at home.
Yep.
So I'll take that, and I'll take that right now. And I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think Trevor Rogers is really struggling, and if you aren't throwing the ball over the plate, and then when you do, they're hitting it out of the park. I think it's a recipe for a lot of runs. And Bassett, he's been sharp at times, but he's also had those games where he's given up 7-8 runs. So
yeah, he's been erratic, no doubt about it. So, Chip Chirimbes, your pick.
My pick is play this thing over the total, and I expect it to be over by the third inning. No,
so Chip Chirimbes, you never know, with these.
And then you can always play in game and bet under the rest of the way. What's that?
Pablo Lopez and Sandy Alcantara, great pitchers for Miami.
Very good.
The reason you don't hear about them more is because of the market they play in. I mean, yes, Miami's considered a big market in the United States, but it's not in baseball. For whatever reason, in a baseball environment in the state of Florida, they've never been able to draw there. In that new stadium, they saw a spike in attendance for 1 year, but
Ross, I'd go to the games and see Marlin games when they were at home, and I'm telling you, if you're there twice, you're on a first name basis with the vendors because there's nobody there. There's only 3,500 people, and you sit anywhere you want. I mean, the park is beautiful. It's in a very difficult location to get to. There's no, subways or transit that gets you directly there. It's always a hassle. And, but a good portion of Miami actually is under the poverty level, and they can't actually afford that where the stadium is located. So you have to come down. You have to come down from West Palm, and the traffic on 95 is brutal. It's a tough spot. It really is.
Always. I mean, I remember going to Marlins games when they played at the football stadium there. Right. I don't know what they call it these days. Joe Robbie to all these other names. Yeah, Hard Rock, whatever it is. I remember the traffic going into the football games. You would have to leave 2 to 3 hours early. And again, I went to several Marlins games when I lived in South Florida for 7 years. And I used to do the same thing, Chipper. It was even worse in the big stadium because especially during a day game when there's no roof like there is now.
It seemed like there was. I went to the inaugural game against the Dodgers, and there's the pennant from it. The inaugural.
Look at that! How ironic is that? Chip Chirimbes, he's a member of the
Dodgers 8-0. Jeff Conine went 4 for 4.
So I'm going to talk about the Seattle and Angels game, and if Chipper breaks out a poster with Lou Piniella and Mike Scioscia on it, I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, The Seattle Mariners with Logan Gilbert on the mound at the LA Angels with Andrew Heaney, 10:07 p.m. Eastern time start on Saturday evening. Right now, the Angels are a 125 money line home favorite, and the total in this game is 7.5. These teams have played 5 times this year. Again, folks, they're going to be playing tonight. We're recording on Friday. I don't know the result of this game. So just like Chip, we're giving you statistics on games through Thursday, June 23rd. So Logan Gilbert, by the way, 4-1 to the under in his last 5 starts with a brilliant 1.74 ERA and 0.94 WHIP. He's made 1 start against the Angels this year, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 4 hits, no walks. And how about the Seattle bullpen of late? A 1.82 ERA, a 0.65 WHIP, and no walks issued over their last 7 games. That's getting it done, folks.
Right.
Patrick Sandoval gets to start for the LA Angels, 7-3-1 to the under this year, and it's 2.70 ERA and 1.32 WHIP have a lot to do with those low scoring affairs. Also, 1 start against Seattle this year, similar numbers that I just mentioned with Gilbert in his 1 start against Seattle, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 4 hits, and 2 walks. So I like this game to go under the total, Chip. I'm going to go with the LA Angels and the Seattle Mariners to go under 7.5 on Saturday evening. And Chip Chirimbes, he likes the Miami Marlins and the New York Mets game to go over 8, and that game goes at 4:10 on Saturday in the afternoon Eastern time. Chipper, tell the folks how you're doing and where they could find you, my friend.
Thank you, Russ. And like I said, 6-2 the last 3 days with a 3-0 sweep in Major League Baseball. Really back on track. Really happy about that. You go to chipwins.com and you'll find my single strongest play of the day, my mega buck or a play winner. And also, Ross, as a bonus right now, we're posting CFL Canadian football. So
hey,
get a big time football winner. And I love it. And I think it's better quality actually than the USFL, what we saw. But you can get a CFL winner at chipwins.com. Thank you, Ross.
What's the Hamilton team called?
Tiger Cats.
There you go. He knows what he's talking about.
No, and I'll tell you what. Political correctness has affected the CFL because the Edmonton Eskimos are now the Elks. Edmonton Elks.
I looked at that and I wondered why they changed your name. Now it makes sense, you know. Yeah, we're just living such a sensitive society today. Anyway, you know, you can find me at rbwins.com. That's rbwins.com or rossbenjaminsports.com, whatever you prefer. You know, in all these Major League Baseball money line, huge favorites these days, I've really adjusted a little bit and have made more run line plays, I think, this year than I made all of last year so far. And it's worked out pretty well because I'm 9-3 with my last 12 Major League Baseball run line picks. Also, my Major League Baseball totals, which I've always played. In my opinion, if you cut out totals, you're cutting out half the board. If you give me more options or Chip more options, we have a better chance to win. It just stands to reason. Major League Baseball 10-star top plays, which are my best bets, 6-2 this year. Haven't given out a lot yet, but been very selective. But when I do, you need to pay attention. And since last year, it's no fluke, the 6-2 this year, 48-25 with Major League Baseball 10-star top plays since the start of last season. That's good for 66%, folks. I do not give out big chalks. I'm not one of these guys you're going to get a 150, 160, 170, 180 or more money line favor with. It's just not going to happen. And I know I can speak for Chip when I say he doesn't do that as well.
You know, Ross, why would they need us to give them a 2-to-1 favorite? They can bet that on their own, right?
Yeah, you could deplete your own bankroll.
We're here for a different reason.
Exactly right. Now, return on investment is extremely important when it comes to money line betting. Yes, winning percentage is important, but you could make a strong case. You could have a successful season hitting 54% Major League Baseball if your return on investment in your money management is correct. And I'm not implying that either one of us, that's our goal. Our goal is to make you a lot of money and do better than 54% for sure. But It is what it is. There's a lot of guys who hit around 60% Chipper, and they're losing money or to break at a break
Yeah,
even
you
point.
can't. We've always said, we've been proponents, don't lay those big numbers. And now I'm doing like what you're doing, to look a little bit more to totals,
Yeah.
because the lines are so high, and
Yep.
even laying the run line, which I haven't done in the past. We've done it twice already this year. So think we're making adjustments as the lines and the game adjusts. We have to adjust as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way you succeed. I like to keep everything the same for me the last 20 years, for Chip the last 60. But and it's 60? No, 40. Anyway, look at all them bets.
1957 World Series. I was there.
Yeah. So anyway, Chipper, I hope you have a great weekend, my friend, and maybe sometime in the near future you'll be able to make a great announcement. And I'm crossing my fingers for you.
Thank you.
Making a sign of the cross that it all works out for you. And until the next time, folks, you guys all have a great weekend. We deeply appreciate you viewing today and subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that damn subscribe button. Give us a like. And for Chip Chirimbes and Ross Benjamin, take care and God bless, folks.